I look now down Pall Mall, where protesters fled, bearing a red flag, as they scrambled along to Hyde Park in 1869, having been driven out of Trafalgar Square. Along the way, the marchers scuffled and they were jeered by onlookers. A riot ensued, smashed windows, fisticuffs. The march was led by the Social Democratic Federation, Britain's first communist party. It was led by H.R. Hyndman and the daughter of Karl Marx, Eleanor Marx, who lived hereabouts. The next autumn, a protest of socialists and radicals was called again in Trafalgar Square. November 1887, this time political and police officials had committed a massive body of personnel to the square, including some 4,000 constables, 300 mounted policemen, 300 soldiers from the Grenadier Guards and 350 members of the Life Guards. This body of police and military forces used horses, batons and rifle butts against an estimated 20,000 protesters and demonstrators, injuring hundreds, killing 2 in the process. 300 demonstrators were arrested and 112 police officers injured. But these struggles, these riots, were part of the agitation for labour enfranchisement and representation. When you go home, if you go onto YouTube and you type in Trafalgar Square Riot 1913, you'll see a wonderful grainy bit of silent film. It shows Sylvia Pankhurst being led away by the police, having addressed the rally of Suffragists here in Trafalgar Square. The New York Times reported these rallies by Marconi Wireless Telegraph. London, March the 8th. Sylvia Pankhurst, who for some time past has been successfully eluding the police, who have been trying to capture her under the Cat and Mouse Act, was rearrested in the Strand today on her way to a demonstration in Trafalgar Square. She was seen by some Scotland Yard officers who were on the lookout for her as she boarded an omnibus in the city. She was immediately seized and driven in a taxi cab to Holloway Jail. The demonstration in Trafalgar Square led to disorderly scenes and conflict between the women and the police. Taking part in the demonstration was the East London Federation of Women, a new organisation founded by Sylvia Pankhurst. In pouring rain, this meagre procession marched from Bow Street to the square. Heated protests were made against her arrest by the speakers in the square, and a suffragette waving a flag led the crowd towards Whitehall. Police barred the way and they turned down Northumberland Avenue. Near Whitehall, there was a good deal of scuffling, and in collision between the mob and the police, the flag bearer and others were arrested, among them 3 men. This is the 6th time that Sylvia Pankhurst has been arrested. Fairly bland reporting, I think. But looking now back towards Parliament and digging into the Hansard debate for the 22nd of February 1934, I found this reference. During the Ramsay MacDonald National Coalition administration, the Duchess of Atholl rose to speak. Will the Secretary of State for the Home Department ensure suitable steps are taken to prevent the hunger marchers now approaching London from holding meetings in Trafalgar Square and other crowded areas? The Secretary of State for the Home Department, for it was Sir John Gilmore, replied, "The holding of meetings in Trafalgar Square is governed by regulations made by the Commissioner of His Majesty's Works and Public Buildings. Provided that those regulations are complied with, I don't think I would see it as desirable to interfere with the holding of meetings in the square, so long as there is no reason to anticipate that disturbances will arise." These cold and hungry men had been marching from Jarrow and other poverty-stricken areas in the northeast of England, and the prospect of them being denied an opportunity to announce their arrival in London in Trafalgar Square, it seems, had been averted.